Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our latest and greatest and last Gears of War 4 video. I was going to say multiplayer beta video, but this one we cover a lot more than the multiplayer beta.
Okay.
So, I'm Dan Webb. I'm joined by Mr. Lee Bradley.
Hello. Yeah, you've got fact bombs to lay on people, right?
Yeah, like fucking so many fact bombs. It's like bang, bomb, bomb, bomb. I was going to do a really tasteless joke then. No. So yeah, let's basically sum up the beta. We've already done a beta video. We've already done a drop shot video, so go and check those out. But roughly, the beta is 2 modes, 3 maps, team deathmatch, and the new Dodgeball mode, as we're seeing here on Harbour map. And Dodgeball is basically, it's basically Dodgeball. Like when instead of catching a ball to bring somebody back in who's out, you just kill someone.
Okay.
Simple as that, mate. Simple as that. So as you can see here at the top, it was red. Now it's blue. That means see how it's swinging back and forth.
Yeah.
If it's blue, we're ahead. If it's red, they're ahead. So yeah, it's basically
this mode looks like you're going to get loads of really exciting, like wild swings.
Yeah.
From 5-1 to 1-5.
Well, I made the joke in the other video about Will Smith and having a swing party around his. That there's so much swing in this game. I played games that we were 5-1 down, and I managed to get a kill and then run away, and then somebody else spawned in, and then we pulled it back to 3-3, and then we pulled ahead to 5-1 them, and then they pulled back, and it was 3-3, and it's like it just goes back and forth. It's great.
Looks pretty too. Look.
Yeah.
It's definitely Gears, isn't it? There's blood everywhere. There's big meaty chunks of people flying around.
Yeah, and it is Gears, and there isn't really a lot different. It's almost like the if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of mantra.
Yep.
Rod was saying that they were trying to innovate but not change because obviously
Wouldn't be Gears anymore,
right?
would
That's
it?
what
Yeah.
I mean. And I was saying this to my flatmate last night that Gears is Gears. There isn't another game like Gears. There isn't another meaty kind of third person sliding into cover, big guns, big kind of brawn.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Creative weapons. So yeah, there doesn't in the entire video game industry really exist a game like Gears. So it can be Gears selfishly and just stay that way. But yeah, the few things that are new. You know that little battle that you have where you're one side of the cover and somebody else is the other side of the cover?
And you're like popping out.
Yeah. So basically now you can pull people over and shank them.
Okay, nice.
But they can pull you over and shank them.
Okay.
But then you can try it go at the same time, and then you have to get the counters.
If you do it at exactly the same time, do you just high five over cover?
Yeah, that's it. And you kind of just kind of bump shoulders and go, yeah, bro.
I like it.
And then you bump fists, and then you just kind of that's it. And then you go your own separate ways.
All right,
Put
headline
guns on the
feature.
floor, and that's how peace was established in the Pendulum Wars.
Right, got it.
So yeah, there's also the vault kick, which is like the mantle kick but quicker,
Okay.
smoother, a little bit more fluent. The transitions a little bit smoother and quicker, which is what they're saying. But there's loads of other stuff that they talked about that wasn't kind of confined to the beta. Things like multiplayer split screen. There was actually split screen across the board, although the frame rate drops.
To 30.
Yeah, from 60 to 30.
It's alright, isn't it?
Yeah, right. I mean, that's what you're not going to be able to run 120 frames a second on a console. So, especially not the Xbox One.
No.
So yeah, but there's things like they built a lot for esports because esports has taken off in the time since. So there is now viewer spots in multiplayer games, so you can get casters in and stuff like that.
Okay.
You can just get people kind of commentating.
Yeah.
You can get people.
It's good for streams and stuff as well,
Broadcasting,
right? For
yeah,
us.
if we set up a tournament, we could go in as the broadcaster and then switch back and forth. There's loads of different camera angles. There's also different icons now that tell you who's got what weapon.
Okay.
So you can see, let's go to the boom shot with the power weapon.
Yeah.
And in Gears gone by, you had to cycle through all the players. Now you can actually go to that player, just go boom shot, torque bow, that kind of thing. So
Cool.
you can keep an eye on that. In terms of the actual multiplayer itself, it's now ranked stuff now. There's 6 ranks: bronze, silver, gold, onyx, diamond, master.
Okay.
So you work your way up the ranks. So hopefully you won't have some newbie playing against an MLG pro.
Okay, good.
Which is great because you've got to start somewhere. And because I'd feel a little bit intimidated coming into Gears now because
there's a lot of people have amassed a lot of kind of knowledge on how it plays and the rhythms of it and stuff, right?
And but I've played a lot. I've played all of them, every single one to death. And it was great at the preview event. I was playing against all these journos, and I could tell that for a few of them, it was the first time. And my first game, I went 14-0.
Nice.
I was like, this is awesome.
I've been on both sides of that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Trying something new and getting mullered, and going in like knowing what you're doing and mullering everyone.
Yeah. So if you went in to play like a Destiny event now, I'm sure you'd muller
I'd
everyone.
be all right. Yeah. Tell me about the actual esports mode. How does that work?
Oh yeah. So they talked a little bit about Escalation mode, which is going to be, I think, announced officially at PAX.
Right.
They teased it. Now, Rod called it a strategic meta game on top of Gears and everything that makes Gears. So, normal game. I think it starts off like Warzone, 5-on-5. Each got one life. Whoever loses the first round then gets to choose the location of the power weapon and what power weapon it is.
Right.
So, is that strategic, almost like League of Legends banning characters and stuff? It almost comes into the thing like, do you lose the first round on purpose so you can get the power weapon in the placement that you want?
Yeah, and especially to pick the power weapon that you want, like if you've got someone who's really good with a torch bow or whatever.
Or the opposite, right? Like he tried to grab, I like this little bit. So what I do is I use him as bait for the other guy, and he's like, I'll get you. He gets down, and I'm like, finish him off. And then this guy here is like, I'm going to get up now. I'm like, mate, no you're not.
Splat.
That must be so agonising. It's like, yes, I've got, oh, fucking hell. So yeah, but imagine the meta game of like, you've got a guy who's good with the torque bow, but they've got a guy who's incredible with the torque bow.
Right.
And you're like, let's just leave the torque bow out of it. Let's just put a boom shot in. Let's just waste a weapon or something. Let's make sure that they don't get control of a torque bow. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
all right, that's interesting.
But yeah, there's a lot more stuff. Did we talk about DLC? We didn't talk about DLC.
All right, so we've published a piece about this. It seems super generous.
Yeah, it's actually, like, I would say best of both worlds for both gamers and publishers. I think everybody wins in this scenario.
Okay, so how does it work?
So how it works is basically there are 10 maps in the box.
Yep.
There are 9 new maps and the classic gridlock map. That's it. They're yours. They're yours forever. Look, kick him. No. So those 10 maps, they're yours forever.
Right.
And what they're going to do is, over the first 12 months minimum, they're going to introduce 2 new maps every month.
Okay.
Well, that's Rod said 34 maps after a year, so I'm just doing the maths.
So 24 post-release maps. All free?
All free if you play in public playlists.
Right.
Which most people do.
Yeah, right.
If you want to play with friends, you have to pay for them.
Okay.
I say you have to pay for them. One person in your group.
Wait, you mean like private matches?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you want to set up like a 5-on-5 with 9 of your mates, you and 9 of your mates, then you can do that.
Okay.
But the host has to own the map. Just the host, which is great, right? So you got 10 friends. One of you has to pony up.
Okay.
Heck, you could even chip in together.
All right.
Like, do you know what I mean?
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. So I like that. And you know what? That's probably something that we'll do.
34 maps in total is a fucking lot of maps.
Yeah, but they're not all at once.
Right.
Think of it like a seasonal menu. This is what Rob said. Rod. I think like I swear he said something like pumpkin soup or mushroom risotto that you only get in like, or clam chowder or stuff like that. You're only getting like seasonal, like in the autumn or something like that.
All right, so the 10 map playlists will kind of they'll swap shit out all the time.
They'll drop 2 maps and bring in 2 new maps.
All right.
It might not just be 10. It might be more than that. But they're not gonna. You're not gonna have 34 maps that you have to learn and know at once.
Got you.
There's going to be like 10, I would say.
All right.
But those 10 maps that you got with the game, they're still yours. So nobody's taking that away from you.
Okay, so you can do private matches on them whenever you want.
So whatever happens, you get those 10.
All right.
But there's going to be classic maps. There's going to be new maps. He specifically mentioned checkout.
Okay.
I don't think
that's the supermarket one from 2?
I think it was 2, yeah.
Right.
They all, because I think they brought it back for 3 as well.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, but that was a great map, that was. But it seems like everyone's a winner in this situation.
Yeah, I can't see any downsides to it.
Because it's like, oh, I've got to pay for maps, but only if you want to play with friends. And if you want to play with friends, split the price between you, man. I mean, Jesus.
If you're that into it that you want to do private matches, then it's got to be worth
Yeah.
one person dishing out,
Yeah.
right? That's good value.
Absolutely.
You told me something about microtransactions. Boo.
Okay, right. And this, by the way, is the final map that we're looking at.
Okay.
This is Foundation.
All right.
So this is the piston room. There's a boom shot, the top end, and like this is the town, like city map.
Okay.
And then you've got like the kind of red autumn trees and stuff, loads of cranes. It's this weird blend of like, look in the background, it's pretty, and then look over, it's like, oh god.
This screams Gears to me. This.
Yeah, it does, right?
Industrial and.
So yes, microtransactions.
Yes.
They do exist, but they don't.
Go on.
So basically, the coalition have introduced what they call a crate system, and a crate system is effectively like FIFA Ultimate Team, the rec system in Halo.
Supply drops sounds a bit like that as well.
You know, all games have them these
They
days.
do, don't they?
All games.
Power Star Golf.
Yeah, it genuinely does, right? But the difference between Gears is they are purely cosmetic.
Okay.
And right, there's 5 different forms.
All right.
So there are 3 tiers of crates.
Right.
And there are 4 rarities of cards.
Okay.
And there are new cards every month, by the way.
Okay.
So there are characters that you can get, skins, weapon skins, emblems, and bounties. So
Right.
4 of those purely cosmetic. Make yourself look better on the battlefield.
Got you.
You can skin any weapon. You can skin like a boom shot if you want.
Okay.
Couldn't do that in other. What you could skin was the standard kind of loadout guns.
Yeah.
So that's that. The bounties are interesting. The bounties aren't. They're almost like burn cards, consumables, but they don't kind of change the game in your favour.
Okay. What do they do then?
It's like rewards. Like the example that they gave us was a 2 times XP.
Okay.
I'm not sure whether it is game changing stuff, but from what I understand, they kept stressing that this was just cosmetic. This was just to make people look and give them a little bit more character, a little bit more choice over what they say.
Okay.
The bounties are like 2 times win XP if you win as this character,
Right.
but they only burn when you actually use them.
Oh, so if you lose a bunch, you're not going to use the card. It
No,
won't be
so if
used
you
to
lose
win.
5 and then win the 6th, you still get the double XP.
That's cool.
But that's it, mate. That's it.
Nice.
That's
Nice.
12 minutes footage, loads of fat bombs. That's Gears of War 4 multiplayer beta, which is out next week. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us, Lee.
Thanks for having me, Dan.
See you next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and watch me die. Cheers, folks. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.